What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown. And if you're new here, welcome. In my opinion, it is never way too early to make your 2020 schedule predictions for the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm super excited to show you my thoughts on what I think is going to happen to our Atlanta Falcons in 2020. Enough talking, let's just get straight into it. All right, here we go. Week 1 versus the Seattle Seahawks. We do start the 2020 season off at home. Finally, we had 3 years of starting the season off on the road. We do make history here, and we have our first ever season opener at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and we are facing the Seattle Seahawks. And not gonna lie, this was definitely a tough one to decide, because not only do the Seahawks usually kind of start the season off kind of like, oh, are they going to lose? Like, because they almost lost to the Bengals week 1 of last year. And then also, the Seahawks usually aren't the best team on the road, especially when it comes to the East Coast. Like, they never really do good at Carolina, at Atlanta, at Tampa, at Miami. Just wherever they go on the East Coast, they usually don't do that well. However, the Falcons recently haven't really started the season off well either. I mean, in 2017, we barely got a win over the Bears. Oh, I forgot to mention that in 2016, we lost to the Bucks. And then in 2018, we lost to the Eagles. 2019, we lost to the Vikings. So this really could go either way. And the Falcons do have home field advantage. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to want to see the Falcons' new uniforms, and they're going to want to see Todd Gurley, Dante Fowler. It will definitely have home field advantage, but unfortunately, I did have the Falcons taking an L to start the season. Not only do the Seahawks have a good team, now I think the Falcons are better roster-wise, but coach-wise, I guess the Seahawks are a better team. And also, the Falcons never really start the season off well, so I will mark this as a close game. It'll definitely be a close one, but I do think the Falcons start the season off rough. Week 2 at Dallas. This one is a little bit better. Atlanta always wins week 2 seemingly. Like, we won week 2 against the Raiders 2016, won week 2 2017 versus the Packers, 2018 versus the Panthers, and then 2019 versus, who did we play week 2? The Eagles. So we usually win week 2. And another thing, though this is on the road at Dallas, and Dallas is a very tough place to play in, and the Cowboys are a good team, but who's even their quarterback? I think the Falcons have a better quarterback. I think they overall have a better roster than the Cowboys. I'm not saying this will be some easy win, but I do think the Falcons take the win in Dallas. So after starting the season off rough, they do get a win here. Now, week 3 versus the Chicago Bears. This one I don't think is too bad. The Bears don't really have a quarterback, and also the Falcons do have home field advantage. So I do think the Falcons are going to win this game. I don't think it should be too hard. Now, if the Bears had a better quarterback, this would be a challenge, but they don't. So yeah, I don't think this will be too tough for us. Week 4 at Green Bay on a Monday night. Now, if this game was home for the Falcons, I would say the Falcons win this game like 100%. The problem is we're not home. We are on the road. Thankfully, this is not during a time when Green Bay is going to start snowing, or I don't know, fingers crossed, I guess, but thankfully, this is during a time where it'll probably just be like chilly. I don't think it's going to be cold and it's going to be snowing. But nonetheless, this is at Lambeau Field, and the Packers, got to give credit where it's due. The Packers have an amazing home field advantage, and they are a good team. Now, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, but they are a good team. So unfortunately, I do have us taking an L on this one. If we were home, we would win, but we're not, so I'm going to take an L on this. Week 5 versus the Carolina Panthers. Come on, easy one. That's a dub. Not only are the Panthers rebuilding, but I mean, come on. The Falcons, ever since 2015, they have won 8 games against the Panthers, and they've only lost 2. Yes, they have been 8-2 against the Carolina Panthers since 2015. I mean, come on now. And they haven't lost to the Panthers at home since 2014. I mean, come on. Moving on. Week 6 at the Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to take an L on this one because, hey, when do we ever beat the Minnesota Vikings? Week 7 versus the Detroit Lions. This is a much easier challenge. Not only are we home, but Detroit is not looking like they're that tough of a team. Now, they are making some moves. Like, they have a great secondary. Maybe Matt Stafford comes back to form. Maybe DeAndre Swift will do something for Detroit. But other than that, I don't know if Detroit's looking super great as of right now. So I do have the Falcons taking a win on this one. Week 8 at the Carolina Panthers on a Thursday night matchup. Now, though I kind of roasted the Panthers earlier, I think this one will definitely be a little bit of a challenge because not only is it Thursday night games are always tough for the road team, and the road team would be us in this case. Also, it is a divisional game, and surely the Panthers are going to want to win this one. I mean, it's a Thursday night game at home. Surely they're going to want to play a lot tougher. So this will definitely be tough. But ultimately, I think we still come out on top, so we take the dub on a Thursday night on the road. Week 9 versus Denver. This was supposed to be our London game, and if it was in London, honestly, it really could have gone either way, but now we are officially home at Atlanta. So I'm going to say we win this game. The Broncos definitely improved, but I'm not going to say they're a playoff team just yet. I still need to see a lot more from, Drew Lock. Then week 10, we have a bye week. And after the bye week, some people are going to say it gets tougher down the stretch because we have to play Kansas City and Tampa Bay and New Orleans. But in my opinion, I think it gets just slightly easier. Now, not right after the bye week because week 11 at New Orleans, we might have won in New Orleans last year. We might have shocked the world and had a big upset. But I do think we're going to lose this one. The Saints, got to give credit where it's due. They are a tough team, and we usually struggle in New Orleans, so I'm going to say we lose this one. Week 12 versus Oakland. This one's not as big of a challenge. The Raiders are definitely looking good for the future, but the playoffs for the Raiders does not start in 2020, so I think we do win this one. The Raiders still have a little ways to go, and if they want to be a good team. Also, the Falcons have home field advantage. I mean, the Raiders got to travel all the way from Las Vegas to Atlanta. Yeah, I think we're going to win this one. Week 13 versus New Orleans. Now, the series is usually split every year for the Falcons and Saints. It's not like one team usually sweeps the other one. So I do think because of that, and also we have home field advantage, and the Falcons are kind of in make playoffs right now mode. Like, the Falcons are like, okay, the season is about to end. We got to make playoffs. We got to fight for the team and Dan Quinn. So they're going to take the dub on this one. We're going to split the series against the Saints, and we are going to win the game versus the Saints at home. Week 14 at the Los Angeles Chargers. I think we take a dub on this one. The Chargers, they have a great roster, but I'm not necessarily going to believe they're a good team as of right now. Also, the Falcons are usually pretty good on the West Coast. I mean, we won to the 49ers on the road last year. We beat the Raiders on the road 2016. We beat the Seahawks 2017 on the road on Monday night. Like, the Falcons are actually usually pretty good on the West Coast, so I'm going to say we win this one. Week 15 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Finally, Tom Brady versus the Atlanta Falcons, just on a different team. And believe it or not, I actually have an upset. I think the Falcons are going to win this one. Home field advantage. We obviously got to win the last home game of the season, and we have to get into the playoffs. The season is about to end. I think we make the playoffs at this point. I believe we're at 10 wins. That should get us into the playoffs, so I think we are in. Week 16 at Kansas City. We're not going to win that one, boys. The Chiefs are, come on. We're just not going to win that one. Week 17 at Tampa Bay. Yes, we usually do win at Tampa Bay, but I do think we take the L on this one. The Falcons and Bucks are Always great games to watch, but Tom Brady's also want to get into the playoffs, and it's a road game, so I do think we're going to lose this one, but I don't think it really matters because I think 10-6 should get us into the playoffs, and in my opinion, I think this looks spot on. Like, I think these predictions are pretty accurate. I know it's way too early, but let me know what you guys think, if you agree or not. Nonetheless, I just want the season to happen, first off. Hopefully, COVID-19 passes really quickly, and we do have a football season. But also, I think we just are all in agreement that we want the Falcons to win games, but I think this is pretty accurate. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will see you guys with a video. No, actually, I'm going to see you guys this Sunday live streaming and talking Falcons football. Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. I will be live streaming for an hour talking Falcons football with you all. Love and appreciate you all. And as always, rise up.